Hi all and welcome back to Social Services Exposure. This is Series 2, Episode 1, so I'm welcoming you back to a brand new season of this. And I'm starting on a major issue that has happened because of the evil social services. Basically making my children forgotten what is their blood family, which is my brother, my sister and their grandfather, due to them being pushed out and forgotten about. So, as all the social workers since day one have been corrupt and wanted the boys to forget all the blood linked family. So in this episode I am deep diving into the family tree and explaining how long each member has not seen my two boys, but wishes they had been still in contact, and to this day they still were, because it was with a heavy heart that they don't even recognise my family. That's how bad it is. Also, as I said, they don't recognise them, and will explain as I'm going along, bit by bit. So first up is obviously my father, which is who's on the left. Obviously, my mum no longer with us, unfortunately. The boys obviously are aware of that, and obviously they're still grieving to this day. It's now been over 3 years since my father has seen the two boys as being banned, which was an initial 3-month period, and they said, oh, we'll review this within 3 months. We knew that was never going to happen, and it was all because of a twisted social worker who didn't get on with my dad, who blamed him for everything. And also both children have asked to see him since, and we were at the time told we can't even mention him. We was told by the dictators we were not allowed to. We were basically signed contracts. You're not allowed to mention your dad's name, otherwise we'll cancel contact, which I think was awful. Basically, it was like they were just mini Adolf Hitlers, effectively. And I think there's no way they should have been dictating that way when my father was part of their life and always had been. That's how vile these people are. And obviously the children do not recognise him. We know this after we shown pics, and also my dad stood within sight of them after a contact session, and they did not clock on it was him, because this was within meters, because he stood on public land, and it was right by the bus shelter on the public highway, and the children looked his way and did not notice it was him. That's how awful this is. And then obviously we now go on to my sister, which you see there is the best picture I've got of her, which is in a wedding dress. They've not seen her since prior to all this kicking off. And again, it's because she's never, with her working and the scheduling of it, she's never been able to get to contact. Obviously, they've been able to see her daughter because she came along with mum multiple times. And again, they don't recognise her, because when she's approached my son at a Wrexham game to say hi, again, he's like, who are you? I'm like, that's the scary thing. He doesn't recognise his own family, and that hurts me. He barely knows his own family because he's been made to feel that way. And then obviously the final member obviously I've got is my brother. Obviously, again, this is the best photo I've managed to get without his children in the photo. It's been about 3.5 years to 4 years since he last saw my children, and again, he would not be recognised by the children because when we've shown him photos, they've not recognised him. So it's so sad and evil that they've been forced to forget their blood family, and however, the youngest has been made to believe that his current foster carer is family. I detest that because she is not family, nor will she ever be family, because all she is a teacher and a foster carer. She is never family. She's not blood, she's nothing but a too good piece of shit foster carer that is trying to turn him against us. She's a liar, a fraud, and a fake. She can't do a job right. And she told him the allegations because she wanted him to hate us. She's a psychopath in every meaning of the way. And she could have had a chance to try and get on with us, but no, from day one of this, the multiple times she's come and gone, and now back for good until she claims retirement. I'm sorry. For what she's done, she should be locked up for the crimes she's committed, child cruelty and everything. She's a vile, evil woman. But the social thing, oh, she's a saint. Best carer of the year award they probably give her, but she isn't. But they won't remove her. They go, oh, it's alright, she learns from her lessons. She doesn't. She just commits them all over again because she doesn't care about how much she puts him through. That's the problem. Yet my kids are made to forget their family because she doesn't care. She's more interested in getting the kids to remember her family. I'm sorry, your family don't count. You're just a foster carer. You're just there for him to have a roof over his head. That's it. He's not supposed to even love you. He's not. You're just a foster carer. That's it. We're his parents, and that's who we will always be to him. You're nothing. And that's the problem with these foster carers overstepping the line. Then, as I say, go and tell things like the allegations, and then causing child cruelty. But it's just amazing how outdated the social services are. They're willing to push everyone out just to get their agenda out there and to get my two wonderful children to forget their blood link family. And yeah, they still know them by name, but image they don't. So I'm going to leave this episode there because it's the first one back of the new season. It's a bit of an emotional one back because it's an emotional roller coaster for myself. But again, please like, share all these and get them as far as we can. Thank you and goodbye.